All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are talking about the one thing on pretty much everyone's mind. What is AI actually going to do to our jobs? Right here in Singapore. We're going to cut through all the noise and the scary headlines to figure out what's really going on with the future of work. You know that conversation, the one you have at the coffee shop or over dinner? It starts with something like, "So, this AI thing is getting pretty wild, huh?" And before you know it, everyone's wondering, are we all about to be replaced by robots? Well, that's a very real feeling, and today, we're going to see if that fear is actually justified. And there it is. That's the question, isn't it? The big one. It's personal, it feels urgent, and honestly, it can be pretty stressful. So let's unpack it. And hey, if you're worried about this, you are absolutely not alone. We're talking about almost a third of the entire global workforce sharing that exact same concern. So that feeling, totally valid. But the real story, as you're about to see, is way more interesting and frankly, a lot more hopeful than you might think. So let's just zoom out for a second. Let's move away from our own personal anxieties and look at the huge global picture. Because when you do that, a completely different story starts to take shape. One that's less about a job apocalypse and way more about a massive job, well, a job transformation. And here is the first major plot twist. The World Economic Forum projects that AI and all this new tech are actually going to create a net increase of 78 million jobs around the world by 2030. No, that's not a typo, a net gain. So how on earth is that possible? Well, this chart breaks it down perfectly. So yes, let's be real, technology is expected to displace about 92 million roles. That's the scary number you always hear. But, and this is a huge but, the other side of the coin is the creation of 170 million brand new roles. The creation is just set to blow the displacement out of the water. And these new jobs, they're not all some kind of sci-fi futuristic thing. I mean, look at this list of the fastest growing jobs. You've got software developers, sure, that makes sense. But you've also got farm workers, delivery drivers, construction workers. It's this really fascinating mix of the old and the new, all supercharged by tech. Okay, that's the global view. Let's bring it all the way back home to Singapore, because we've got a really unique situation here. We are considered highly exposed to AI, but that phrase might not mean what you think it means. A massive 77% of our workforce is considered highly exposed to AI. That's way higher than most other advanced countries. But, and this is the key, exposure is not the same thing as replacement. The real story is hiding inside that number. And here it is. This is the crucial detail. See that big 77% chunk? It's split almost perfectly in half. About 39% of us are in jobs with high AI complementarity, and the other 39% are in jobs with low AI complementarity. Getting the difference between these two is, well, it's everything. So this brings us to this really important idea called AI complementarity. And believe me, understanding this concept is the key to figuring out if AI is a threat to your job or if it's about to become your best new colleague. To put it really simply, high complementarity means AI works with you. It's like a co-pilot, an assistant that makes you way better and faster at your job. Low complementarity, on the other hand, means AI can do a lot of the core tasks of the job by itself, which, poses a higher risk. Let's make this super concrete. High complementarity roles, think managers, scientists, healthcare pros. Jobs that need a ton of strategy, creativity, and deep human interaction. Low complementarity roles. Often these involve more routine, predictable tasks, like some clerical or support work. So the question for you is, where does your job fit? So here's the bottom line. For one group, AI means big productivity gains. For the other group, it means facing a risk. But look at the most important part of that sentence. Can transition with the right upskilling. That's the key. There's opportunity here for everyone, but it does require taking action. Which, of course, brings us to the most important part of this whole conversation. It's great to understand what's happening, but what do we do about it? We need a plan. So let's talk about the actual steps you can take to make sure you don't just survive, but you actually thrive in this new world. And here it is, a clear 5-step playbook. It starts with being honest about your own role. Then, you got to build your AI literacy. And I don't mean you need to become a coder, but you need to understand how to use the tools. Then, double down on the things that make you human. Connect with people and have a real plan. And when you think about what skills to build, just look at what's in demand. Yeah, of course, tech skills like AI and big data are right at the top, but look at the others.
Creative thinking, resilience, flexibility. These are deeply human skills that AI just can't touch. The future is all about blending the two. And hey, if you need a little extra motivation to start learning, well, there's a real financial payoff. The pay bump for jobs that require AI skills is already over 25%, and it's still climbing. The market is screaming at us, telling us where the value is. And get this, it's not just about tweaking old jobs. We are literally inventing whole new job categories. I mean, think about it. AI trainers who teach the systems, AI explainers who translate what the AI is doing for the rest of us. These are careers that just didn't exist a couple of years ago. How cool is that? You know, if you only take one single thing away from our chat today, please let it be this. This is not a human versus machine deathmatch. The only winning move is collaboration. It's about us using these incredible tools to make ourselves smarter, more creative, and more effective. So let's just throw out that first question we started with. It was never really about being replaced. The real question, the one that has all the excitement and all the opportunity baked into it, is this. How are you going to use AI to become more valuable, more capable, and more successful than ever before? The future isn't something that happens to you, it's something you build.